Good of you to join us at this hour. I'm Daniel Choy for Arirang News. Let's start with a short traffic report. This is the peak summer vacation season here in Korea, and looks like Sunday was one of the worst possible days to be driving on highways linked to Seoul. According to the Korea Expressway Corporation, around 410,000 cars carpeted the roads on this day. For those driving out of Seoul, the congestions began at around 11 a.m., but it eased up a lot by 10 p.m. As for drivers heading back to the capital, traffic will start to ease at around midnight. So until then, in the worst-case scenario, you could be stuck behind the wheel for more than 5 hours driving to Seoul from Busan. In other news, President Park Geun-he is ready to get back to work on Monday after taking a short 5-day break. For the second year straight, she chose to spend her days off at her official residence of Cheongwade, meaning she was still hard at work during her off days. On Facebook, she said that she spent the time reading various materials, including official reports. It is believed she also worked on her Liberation Day speech and discussed granting presidential pardons with officials. On Tuesday, she will hold a cabinet meeting where she's expected to share her thoughts on several issues, including reforming the labor market and reviving the economy. The day before Liberation Day could be designated a temporary national holiday here in Korea. The Korean government is considering this option as it could help foster greater sense of national pride and encourage spending to help lift an economy still recovering from the effects of the MERS outbreak. If the plan is approved, government and public institutions will be closed on August 14th, while private businesses will be allowed to decide for themselves whether to follow suit. August 15th marks the 70th anniversary of Korea's independence from Japan's colonial rule from 1910 to 1945. The plan will be discussed at the cabinet meeting on Tuesday. And in other political news, labor market reforms top the agenda for the National Assembly's August session, which kicks off on Friday. The ruling Saenuri Party will push for a so-called wage peak system as part of plans to lift the youth unemployment rate. Under the system, the wages of workers nearing retirement age would be cut gradually after they turn 58, and the money saved would be used to hire more young people. The main opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy will hold seminars to collect worker opinion before formulating its own reform plans. The two parties will also be preparing for the annual parliamentary audit of state affairs in September and will receive briefings from parliamentary committees about an ongoing hacking scandal involving the nation's spy agency. Korea is preparing to set up a new government bureau dedicated to big data. Statistics Korea said Sunday it has wrapped up talks on the matter with the Government Administration Ministry and is in final talks on the budget with the Finance Ministry. Until now, the government agency's figures were based on data from the central bank and the Seoul city government. But when the new bureau is up and running, it will be able to monitor social networking services and get information in real time. The agency hopes to use big data to prevent major incidents like the MERS outbreak. Advanced countries including Canada, the Netherlands, and Australia also make use of big data to draw up new indices. North Korea appears to be installing a cover on its missile launch pad. Analysts say it could be preparing to fire another missile in October, as that's when the celebrations for its ruling Workers' Party's 70th anniversary will be held. As if that's not enough to help the regime push itself further away from the international community, on Sunday it withdrew from a global military sporting event. Our Connie Kim gives us the details.
Japan's Kyodo News reported Sunday on new satellite imagery showing the installation of a cover over the launch pad at the Seoul Satellite Launching Station in Dongchangni, Cheolsan County. U.S. intelligence agencies say the details are unclear, but expect the installation to be completed this month. The development is especially concerning as covers were placed on the side and other parts of the launch pad in the final stages of North Korea's preparations for two separate long-range rocket launches in 2012. South Korea reported last month that North Korea had completed an upgrade to the launch pad that would allow it to fire a long-range missile twice the size of the rocket launched in 2012. There is speculation the preparations could be for a possible launch in October to mark the 70th anniversary of the founding of the North's ruling Workers' Party. The move would be sure to further isolate the regime from the international community, though there are signs it may already be taking steps in that direction. Pyongyang on Sunday notified the France-based organizer of an international military sports event to be held in Seoul in October that it'll not attend. Seoul's defense ministry says the North gave no reason for its decision. The North also recently rejected the South's invitation to an international security dialogue set to take place in Seoul next month. Connie Kim, Arirang News.
While North Korea may be seeking a certain kind of isolation, that hasn't stopped the reclusive regime from developing its tourism industry. The communist state is promoting attractions in its eastern coastal city of Wonsan and Kumgangsan Mountain. A report in the Kim Il-sung University newspaper highlights the region's historic sites and scenic spots, as well as its beaches, lakes, temples, and pagodas. This is in line with the Hermit Kingdom's efforts to develop the area into an international tourism zone for foreign investors. Back in May, North Korea held an investment briefing for foreigners at Kumgangsan Mountain. Chinese and Swiss investors were reportedly present at the event. South Korea's Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se and Yukiya Amano, the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, discussed ways to continue their cooperation on resolving North Korea's nuclear development. According to Foreign Ministry officials, the two covered the topic when they met at an IAEA headquarters in Vienna on Sunday. They also touched on the subject of a partnership between the IAEA and South Korea, the world's fifth largest nuclear power producer. In addition, they discussed the agency's role in implementing the Iran nuclear deal and exchanged views on the agreement's impact on the international non-proliferation system. This was Yoon's first visit to IAEA headquarters since taking office in 2013. South Korea's top 10 business groups had a tough time last year amid the ongoing global economic uncertainties. The majority saw their exports fall, with only 3 experiencing an increase in overseas sales. Our Kim Young-gil has the numbers and much more.
Korea's top 10 conglomerates saw their exports fall 4.6% on-year in 2014. According to data compiled by industry tracker Chaebol.com, the combined revenue from exports for the 10 business groups fell to less than $470 billion last year, compared to $490 billion in 2013. Korea's large firms are heavily export-reliant. Data shows that the overseas market was responsible for more than 50% of the group's combined revenue last year. Samsung, LG, Lotte, GS, Hyundai Heavy Industries, Hanjin, and Hanwha all saw their overseas sales drop last year compared to the previous year, while Hyundai Motor Group, SK, and POSCO saw their overseas revenue advance. Samsung Group, which holds Samsung Electronics under its wing, was the biggest loser by posting overseas sales of $160 billion last year, down more than 10% from the previous year. On the other hand, Korea's top steel maker POSCO raked in $30 billion from the overseas market last year, up 16.4% on-year to take up 50.4% of its combined revenue. Hanwha Group said Sunday that despite the overseas sales drop, it still plans to support the government's efforts to tackle the high youth unemployment rate by sharply increasing the number of new recruits over the next 3 years. The group said it would hire more than 5,700 workers in the second half of this year and push to employ more than 17,000 new workers by 2017. Kim Young-gil, Arirang News.
Let's switch over to a more lighter topic, summer fun. Every year, Korea's southern city of Ulsan turns one of its water reservoirs into an eco-tourism attraction that's open to the public for just 1 month. So what kind of natural wonder can you expect to find at this famous wetland called Hwea Dam Reservoir? Let's find out with our Won Ji-hyun.
At first glance, you might think this is just another ordinary park. But what you're seeing here is actually a water reservoir created by the Hwea Dam, located in the southern city of Ulsan. Despite its primary purpose as a drinking water reservoir, the constructed wetland becomes a popular tourist attraction for lovers of the great outdoors every year. Its well-preserved ecosystem offers an abundance of plant life, creating a sanctuary for its many visitors.
I've always wanted to come here, and now after seeing all the water lilies that are spread out all over, I feel as if my heart has also expanded a bit. It made me feel really good.
Since 2012, the city has turned the reservoir into an eco-park that's open to the public for about a month in the summer. This massive area of more than 170,000 square meters is home to more than 30 kinds of plants, like cattails and various reeds. City officials say the plant life plays a role in improving water quality in the reserve.
We'll be sure to preserve the wildlife in the reservoir to help with the water's natural purification process.
This year, the Hwea Dam Reservoir will stay open to public until August 20th, and admission to the park, which includes a guided tour, is free. But you'll want to book a spot before you visit. Only 100 visitors are admitted per day. Those who want to go will need to call ahead or make reservations online. Won Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
And now the weather. Heat advisories have been lowered in most parts of Korea thanks to the frequent showers as of late. But brace yourself for another scorcher on Monday when the mercury will shoot up to new highs with a sweltering 32 expected in Seoul, 33 in Daejeon and 35 in Daegu. That's Korea for you. Let's check out the weather conditions outside of the nation around the world. And that's all from us. Thanks for watching. Here's wishing you a smooth and pain-free transition to a new week.